Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I will try to sew a patchwork bag. I don't have a pattern for this, but I know what bags look like, so I will just wing it, I guess, and we will see how it turns out. Let's start into it. I was thinking I want to have a very simple bag, like something like this, just like two hangers and square, but of course a little bit more complex than this one, because this is a little bit too easy. It will have a filling, it will have a little bag inside, it will be very cute. First step is to cut out all of the little squares that I want to have for my patchwork pattern. Since I want all of the squares to have the same size, I cut myself a little square out of paper with 11 centimeters on each side. Of course, you can use any fabric that you want to use. If you have any scraps left, then just use that. In my case, all of the fabric I have is basically scrap. But I also bought some fabric scraps from Panduro because I thought they looked really nice. I have this nice blue, which is very much, and so I will also make the inside of the bag with this one. I have this darker blue with little fireflies on it. Dragonflies with little dragonflies on it. A pink one from Panduro or old rose one. This very cute one from Panduro with a little bit gold in it. And a blue piece that I still had left over from something else. I need 32 pieces. I bought an iron to iron stuff actually yesterday for this video. I just want to say that. If anybody wants to applaud, then now is your chance. If you don't want to applaud, you can also simply subscribe or like the video. Yes, you can draw them on first. Maybe eventually I will do that, but at the moment I will just wing it and see if I mess it up bad or if it's working. I don't know where my better fabric scissors are. When you choose your fabrics, I would also always recommend to you that you use the same kind of fabric. Like if you use cotton, then see that you use more cotton fabric in your patchwork. I mean, you don't have to, but it makes it a little bit easier also if you want to wash it and everything. Then you don't have to be careful with the mixes you took. Since my mom was a tailor, I really early learned how to use a sewing machine, even if it was just for little easy tube Barbie dresses. So I kind of know what I'm doing, but also I really don't know, since one of my sisters is the tailor in our family. She is making awesome stuff. And I'm more of the person that is hanging by and tries to not die in her daily life. The last time I was actually sewing something was Christmas, and it turned out beautifully. I made a blouse, but this was in Germany and my mom helped me. She was like, and now do this. And now do that. No, not like this, do it like this. And then it turned out beautifully. Today I have no help at all. The problem is I am too lazy for patterns, as we also see today. With a pattern I can sew, without, well. Also, your patchwork doesn't need to have squares necessarily. You can use every scrap you want to. I would always recommend to you to use straight lines if you're a beginner like me. But if it's a square or a rectangle, that doesn't matter. Just go for it. Maybe even triangles. If you dare to do that, I wouldn't, but maybe you are more brave than I am. Oh, and I just remember now, this is not all we need of those for today. We also need the hangers. I cut everything out, including the inside of the bag. And I also already put everything together with needles. Here, for example, we have one of the hangers. For that, I always put them together right side on right side, put needles in. And I also did it with the squares we cut out for the main bag. Let's sew that together finally. I sewed all of the little rows together, and I also ironed everything. I know why I never had an iron. This took me forever. It was so much. But now it is time to arrange them. and then sew them together to the front and the back piece. Let's put it this way around so we can see how it will actually look. If I want to change something. Ooh, Jesus Christ. So I think that looks quite cute. I just put it again on top of each other, put it together with a few needles. Put these two layers on top of each other. Last one for this side. Nice! I think that's very cute. I need later edge at the top, and I will basically just cut this up here. I should also iron this now. We want it to have these wrinkles, if you know what I mean. If not, don't worry, I will do it now. The only thing is I don't have a ruler here, and I won't go to get one, but I have this. Oops, I'm sorry. You have to work with what you have to work, and I mean, I have a sewing machine, that's something. So the pattern is overly marked. Now I will need the filling. It will make it a little bit more puffy so the pattern really pops. Okay, let's cut a little bit around. I will still leave a little bit for safety reasons. So let's sew the thingy on that I was just drawing up. This is just for looks. But you see, it really pays off in this case to draw on before going for it. Imagine what I would have done wrong without drawing anything. Oof. Chill. Okay, and I hope now you see why I had to use filling to make it stand out more. I will quickly go ahead and do exactly the same to this here, but also I will finish the hangers, which I already ironed in this position, and then we will start to put it together, I think. Let's go. It is the next day because my phone decided that the storage is full yesterday and I didn't notice it. This is where we are now. We have these two pieces, we have the hangers. Now we can finally start assembling, I guess. And we directly continue with the hangers now. And I thought I will just put them middled on this edge here. One important thing though, I have to check if they are both the same length. Oh, look at this. It's so the same length. Didn't even measure that. That's my problem. I'm not working tidy and I get through with it, you know, it works out in the end, so I never learn out of these mistakes. Well, is it mistakes if it works, you know? I won't completely stitch up to the top. I'll leave a little bit free for later. So here on the first one, I just try to stay as good as it is possible for me on the original seam. Yeah, I will also try to have the same amount of space to the edge, like on the other side. Looks fine. Let's do the other side. Since it now seems like a bag from one side, we will now make a bag out of it. That's how simple it is. I will sew it together. Of course, for this we put right side on right side. Okay, I hope we can still sew through this, because now it's two of these layers that are very thick. Little sneak peek. Yeah, this is very stiff. I like that. Don't take me out of context. To make it a little bit easier to turn around, I will cut off the corners. Of course, not where we were sewing, just very close to that. Now it's time to turn it around. Are you excited? I am excited. Let's go. That is so cute. And I mean, you see how stable this is? Yeah, if it would be basic, we would be done now, but No. Now we will work on, because this looks very nice already. But this looks like trash. For that I did cut out already filling. It basically has the same measurements as the outside, a little bit smaller maybe. And you can have 2 pieces of those or cut it out so I can use it like this and I only have like 3 open sides. Then we also have this, and there should be another one somewhere. Aha. And now we will use this to make a nice transition between this fabric and the bag later. And I will fasten this now at my inside fabric. I think I will quickly sew this together. If you have 2 separate pieces, then don't do that, of course, but with this, I think I will simply do that quickly. Put that right on right here and fasten it. If you want to have any bags or something in your bag, like these little side bags, then of course you could simply put that on the inside now, simply sew it on. Or you could also fasten it here under this. You could put it in here, like I could sew this in. I would put it here, like here you see the top. And then I would just zip zip a bag like this, for example. If you want to know how I did this, I will upload this in a short, so check that out. And use a little bit more fabric at the top than I did. Okay, and now I will just sew this together where I stitched it. So come back to me, my dear machine. What did you say? I think it spoke to me. And now I will also attach this little bag. I will just put that like here. I think I will start from the middle, because then I might be able to go further in the corner. Carpe diem. Bada bing, bada boom. I think that's quite good. Put that all together and sew it together. Right on right. Important is that we don't sew on the whole thing or so close the whole thing. Like, of course not the top, but also at the bottom we should leave something open, because we will have to turn it around later when we connect it to the other part. I will leave it open in the middle. Okay, let's do a zigzag. We take now the outside bag and put it together with the inside bag. Okay, so we push that or put that in. Now we're back to the start. Nothing looks nice anymore. Start at the side. I will start at this side. Here is the side and here is the long side. And so we put that on top of each other and put a needle in it. Yeah, now you can fasten it all around. It fits quite well into each other. That's surprising. We're nearly done, and I'm excited because this seems to look really nice. I didn't think that it would turn out nice. So we have this opening here. Now we have to pull it inside out. Like this is the inside and this here is the outside. So we have to get all of the outside through this little hole. We will be witnesses of a birth, kind of. You can see the head. So I don't want to rip everything apart. Now I have these pictures in my head. Come on, you're nearly there. You see it? This will be our bag. Isn't it beautiful? There we have it. This will of course come inside. What we have to do now is a few cosmetic touches. First of all, we have a hole in our bag now. We want to close that, of course. So leave the filling for a second out. Go to the edge. Try to just get it as much in as you really needed. Fasten it with needles. And now we try to stitch that together as close to the edge as possible. I want to make this a little bit nicer, and for that reason I will fasten this a little bit, and I will sew one time around directly on this edge here. I think that will look nice. I don't know if you see actually, but I tell you, I'm directly on the edge. I made that with you. That's a nice bag. I will use this. So I think this took around 5 hours to make. Probably. I mean, you don't have to do it with patchwork. You could use basically any fabric and then you would save yourself 3 hours or something, probably. But I really like that look. So I think that was worth it. I had fun doing this. I would love to do more sewing projects. If you have any ideas what I could sew, then please let me know in the comments. That's it for today's video. I hope you had fun watching me sewing this little piece together. I for sure had. If you did, then please make sure to leave a like and subscription if you didn't already do that. If you're up for some more crafts and art projects, check out the other videos that are already uploaded. Otherwise, I might see you next week. Take care and bye. Ade popade din gamle chocolade. I didn't record half of the shit I did. Well,